Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at what is going on with Black Bolt and White Flare. Now, generally speaking, I am sitting around most of the time checking on Pokemon stuff. I'm pretty obsessed with this game. I'm checking the metagame, I'm checking what's winning, I'm checking all the news coming out, but I'm also checking what's going on price-wise with some of these sets. And I kind of expected that Black Bolt and White Flare would be nicely on the way down, because they've been out for a little while now. They have not been the hardest set to pick up, at least anecdotally from me. I've been able to walk into shops and buy this a bunch. My wife's had some in stock in her work pretty much the whole time. And Mega Evolution's out now. So people should be getting a little more hyped about Mega Evolution and a little bit less hyped about Black Bolt and White Flare. That's what should be happening. That's what I'm expecting. That is not what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying every single card in Black Bolt and every single card in White Flare is spiking up massively. What I am telling you is, though, that the two sets as a whole, they don't have very much chill right now. They are both jumping up quite nicely, and this is something we need to have a look at. Now, it is still fascinating to me that we don't see the same price of Victini, regardless of which set we're in. Over on TCG Player, the one from White Flare has jumped up from like 416 to 430. It's not a big jump. But the one from Black Bolt has jumped up from 455 to 500. I don't really know why they're not the same price. No, that's not strictly true. Essentially, Black Bolt is the better of the two sets. So because Black Bolt is the better of the two sets, what that means is we essentially see, generally speaking, the set as a whole jumping up. And if a set as a whole is jumping up, then that's going to make things like Victini jump up more in that set than the other. It's still a little bit weird, frankly. But to be fair, it does, as weird as it is, and as much as it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, it does actually make a little bit of sense, as much as I'd like to pretend maybe it doesn't. But what about the other black and white rares? The ones that are very much wedded to their one particular set? Well, if we start off having a look at Reshiram, what we see from Reshiram here is that in the past month, it's on the way down. It's gone from about 373 to 368. That entire y-axis is $8. Let's not pretend it's some kind of gigantic drop, but it is on the way down. The Reshiram black and white rare is on the way down. How cool. The Zekrom, not on the way down. And this is what I'm telling you guys about the fact that Black Bolt as a whole is just a fancier set. In the past month, ignore the random drop. I'm not entirely sure where that's coming from, but it's gone from 390 to 460. Now, this is weird because what the massive drop has done is massively elongated the y-axis. So even though it looks like it's only crept up, it's actually gone up by $70. Which is weird given that some of the others looked like they'd gone up a lot and actually it was only a few dollars. Yeah. Black Bolt is a bit more of a thing than White Flare. Now, don't get me wrong, both sets are jumping up nicely. I'll show you a whole bunch more examples as we go. But just worth pointing out here that as it stands at the moment, Black Bolt does tend to be the slightly bigger deal. Okay, well, there's your black and white rares. What about your big special illustration rares? Because we have a couple of them coming around in the set as well. The Reshiram from White Flare. What's happened to that over the past month? Yeah, big jump up. It's gone from like 188 to 198. Oh, yeah, it's another one of those where the y-axis is playing a little bit of a trick on us. It's like a 5 to 10% jump, which is still relevant, but it's not as big as it could have been. Still very much jumping up, mind you. Whereas if we have a look at, for instance, the Zekrom, the special illustration rare, then over the past month we've gone from 210 to 245. A much more significant jump. And yes, we are starting to see a little bit of a pattern here, and that is that overall Black Bolt is hanging on a bit better than White Flare. Does that mean very much? Yeah. Again, it's the reason why we see things like the Victini being more expensive from Black Bolt, despite the fact that it's the same card. Cool. But what about some of the other ones? What if we get away from Reshiram and Zekrom and Victini for a bit? Let's do a few from White Flare. Let's have a look at some of the special illustration rares that come after the Reshiram. Well, we have a look at Hydreigon. Over the past month, we've gone 78 to 96. Little jump? Yeah, absolutely. But it is still a significant jump. It is still absolutely out there. So this is one that we've got to keep a little bit of an eye on. Similarly, we can have a look at the Keldeo, which has gone from like 60 up to 65. Once again, the jump relatively small, but it is a jump. It is on the way up. At this point, this is generally where we would expect the set as a whole to be dribbling downwards. It's been out for a little while. It's not been the hardest one to find. Things should be going down. It's not really happening. Have a look at Hilda, the one that I pulled. What's going on with that in the last month? Actually, basically nothing. Started at 63, went up to 67. It's now sitting at like 64. It's actually, in the past month, basically flat. But even then, we're talking about a set that's been out a couple of months. And there's been another set which has come out to kind of supersede it, to jump over it. This set should be dropping by now, and it's not. If we have a look at some of the other special illustration rares from Black Bolt, we can have a look at, for instance, End's Plan. And what we got from End's Plan here is, in the past month, it's gone from like 72 to 79. Little jump. I'm not saying every card is seeing big jumps. Some of them are. I'm not saying all of them are, but I'm saying, like, I'm not picking and choosing here. I'm showing you all the ones as we go along, and they're all just going up. Have a look at the Kyurem. In the past month, it's gone from 67 to 72. Of course, $5 means a lot more for a $70 card than like a $400 card. The lower the price, the less it can jump anyway. So the fact that we do see this just uniformly across the board, all jumping up, very, very significant. Genesect, the one that's super playable, yeah, that one's apparently come down. Only by $5, but in what world is the one card on this list, maybe the one card in the set, that's actually playable? This is the one that for some reason is coming down. Like, I cannot be the only one that thinks that's weird. Because then we go and have a look at Meloetta, a card that's kind of got potential, but no one's playing it. I know that one's jumping up by like $6. In what world is Genesect the only one coming down? And it's a legendary Pokemon and it's play. Come on! Boo! Doesn't really matter. It's just weird to me at this point, ladies and gentlemen. It's just weird to me. And yes, I know technically Genesect is a mythical, not a legendary. You all know what I mean. I was in the middle of a rant. So there's your special illustration rares. What are we looking at in terms of illustration rares? Well, worse. Frankly, worse. If we have a look at the top three from White Flare, the number one illustration rare from that set right now is Zoroark. And this one in the last month, we've gone from 43 to 57. That is almost exactly a 1/3 jump. It's the illustration rares a lot of the time in this set which are really jumping. There's so many of them that actually trying to find the one you want is a little bit of an issue. and that's causing them to jump up quite a bit. Have a look at Oshawott, the number 2, the one that I want the most. It's gone from like 36 to 50. Not quite a 50% jump, but not far off. So you know how I said some of the special illustration rares were taking little jumps up rather than actually properly spiking? Well, the illustration rares are actually doing a lot of the spiking for it. And I'm personally gutted about the Oshawott because I want the Oshawott. If anyone wants to trade it for a Samurott, by the way, I've got a Samurott, so just putting that one out there. Having a look at Black Bolt, there is a really obvious number 1 in terms of illustration rare. It is your Seismitoad. It's the Shinji Kanda artwork. It's the one that's going silly. And this one is coming down, but I don't really think that tells us very much. It's an illustration rare, not a special illustration rare, an ordinary illustration rare, which has come down from $220 to $190. It should not be a $190 card. So yeah, I suppose on the one hand, you can look at this and go, well, Seismitoad's coming down, and yeah, it is, from $220 to $190. I'm not sure that really counts, honestly. So I'm calling a mulligan on that one because it's still $190. But the other big ones we see from Black Bolt, we got Haxorus, gone up from admittedly 40 to like 43. This one, a little jump up. But again, it's a $43 illustration rare that's going up, not down. Even though we don't see a huge jump here, it's a $43 illustration rare that's going up and not down. Number 3 in the set is Volcarona. This one's taken a bit of a jump from 28 up to 40. It's gone up by like a third in the space of a month. I'm only looking at the past month here. In the past month, for some reason, Black Bolt and White Flare are jumping. Maybe in some territories are harder to get hold of. And I'm not saying that you can pick up anything you want whenever you like. That is not the argument I'm making about this set. The argument I'm making about this set is that compared to a lot of recent sets, this one has been comparatively a little bit easier to get hold of. But make no mistake about it, set as a whole, it's rising. And I hope it starts coming down. But yeah, that's where we are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Have you pulled any of these? Are you excited about any of these? Have you seen this video and gone, oh, that's on my list? Maybe I should have picked it up before now. Let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Smash Cafe, who's been supporting for a while and seem to be awesome. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.